Virtus.Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Life Stealer.
Radiant team pick. Virtus.Pro's turn to pick.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Dota 2 Champions League. I'm your host, Toby1, bringing you game number 2 of Power Rangers going up against the boys of Virtus.Pro. And we're going to get ourselves straight into the game because we're already a little bit behind going into our draft. So, without any further ado, my co-caster, in he comes, it is sneaking. Oh, welcome back, man, welcome back. Oh, do I have him? Do I have him? Did I like, freak you out sneaking? Are you not ready? He may not be ready yet. I gave him no prior warning like I normally do, saying like we're starting up. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Sorry, yeah. What you hit the toilet?
Pulling up, that's also possibly one of the reasons why I was late. But yeah, we are back here again, man. So PR this time on the Radiant side, VP over on the Dire side, and VP already starting off. So we'll have Batrider again here in the mix-up, the Custom Maiden again in the mix-up, but this time they're going to be using the Life Stealer.
Yeah, Life Stealer instead of the Naga, and I think they're opting for a completely different route this game. VP is a lot more teamfight oriented, but don't get me wrong, like last game they were teamfight oriented as well, but they were a lot more heavy on the farming on the Naga. But right now, with this Life Stealer and Batrider pickup, I would imagine we're going to see a lot of Nyx bombs onto the Storm Spirit, who is their ideal target. But it's going to be quite hard for this Batrider to initiate when Nyx Assassin is always going to be in the front, sort of trying to bait or carapace the initiation, or to follow up after the Batrider has initiated. So I would like to see probably a quick BKB on the Batrider after the Blink Force Staff that he'll be receiving, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, it's definitely a must. That means a lot of space for a Batrider to farm up. Like, is he really going to find that much space when you're going up against what's going to be a nice harassing AA, which would be an assumption on the bottom lane at least. As now Lion comes up here from VP, so it's a classic support hero of would you believe the man who plays off lane for him now, which is Smile. And speaking of classic as well, Light of Heaven's Nature's Prophet is now on the field. There's no way he's going to let anybody else play that, even if he is the stand-in.
Yeah, I was going to say he is a stand-in, but I guess he does get a say in this hero for the most part. But right now, Lion is picking the 5 Virtus.Pro, and this is going to be a very strong defensive trial lane. This Lion is really going to be with the lockdown and the Storm Spirit, especially with the fact that how Power Rangers are set up. They don't have good initiation besides the Storm Spirit until the Nyx Assassin gets a blink, which is unlikely or much further down the road because it is going to be a support Nyx Assassin by the looks of things, because the Storm Spirit is going to take up the middle lane, Nature's Prophet is going to take up the off lane.
I got an answer as well about what happened in the last game with the denial. So what happens is when you enchant a target, the attack from before will still happen, even once the enchant is done. So we basically enchanted a Naga illusion halfway through, and then finished the attack, which then counts as a deny. But because the unit, technically, when it started the attack, belongs to the Naga, it ended up being Naga's attack, able to hurt an enemy hero, and then the denial came in because of that. So yeah, next level. Next level.
So FNG didn't pull the illusion in time. Got it. I'm just kidding. There's really no way to prevent that from happening either. I mean, I guess he denied a kill by doing so, but Naga really didn't care about the gold that he would have received.
It was just the timing of it though, like to actually enchant a creep during the attack animation. Like, yeah, that's the example I was given. I don't know if that's actually 100% correct. But seems to at least be the most solid theory I've heard so far.
Yeah, that does sound pretty solid to me as well. And But right now on this draft, we see a Mirana pickup. So are we gonna be seeing a Sing Sing style sort of Mirana middle?
This I'm almost feeling would be better with an aggressive tri-lane. Lion, CM, Mirana, head down south. I know you're heading into an AA with the possibility of chilling touch, but leaving a live stealer up on the top lane up against Nature's Prophet shouldn't be too bad. Just give him an extra consumable and a poor man shield and let him go. And then put the Bat Rider in the mid lane up against the Storm Spirit.
I'm personally not a big fan of this aggressive tri-lane that you mentioned because the Ancient Apparition and Nyx Assassin are really strong supports, and these Virtus.Pro supports are very squishy and level dependent, meaning they need to really jungle to receive their prime impact on the game.
Well, the problem is if they take too long jungling, like you can leave CM inside the jungle and Lion pulling, but they really need to rotate a lot more if all they're going to be doing is babysitting a live stealer on the top, and then they put around a mid and bat right in the off, rotating almost like from 30 seconds on, if not.
So we see ours are on the Bat Rider. So this is going to be a mid soul Mirana.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a defensive tri-lane as well. I think. Yeah, but about the early rotations that you mentioned, they're probably just more happy about farming because they want to get that level 6 on the Lion. That Finger of Death, it almost means a guaranteed gank, successful gank on any lane. Especially how squishy Slark is. Even a Finger of Death on the Slark after an impale, it's gonna be a guaranteed kill basically. So I understand where they're coming from, and I also understand where you're coming from, Toby, because they really should aggressive, but I don't think they can afford to after the Lion pickup. It just seems a little greedy to me with the route that VP's trying to play.
Yeah, you're right. It would be greedy, but if it paid off, you control the game completely. But
yeah.
Let's look at our lanes right now for PR at least. So we'll have Moon down here on the bottom lane as the Slark. It was J4 supporting as the Ancient Apparition. In towards middle lanes at XC will be the Storm Spirit. Up north will be FNG taking up the role as the Nyx Assassin. And that leaves our last player back at base right now. But it is Light of Heaven taking up his signature Nature's Prophet up against VP's lineup where Jotum is currently running away from the funny little treant, and we'll have Smile on the offlane Bat Rider again. Sergey will be heading towards the middle lane as the Mirana. That puts NS as the Lion, and then last but not least, Illidan up on the top lane as the Live Stealer. And I'm pretty sure with that Quelling Blade, he is preparing himself for a lot of farm on the top.
Yeah. And before any action really picks up, Haste Rune on bottom for Ancient Operations, so I don't think too much will happen. I want to mention this cute CLO play from Arzart right here. You see the courier? On the bottom lane?
Are we the fact that he's all the way down here? Yeah.
With boots. So what Arzart is doing is that he knows that it's hard to creep block with boots on because you have faster movement speed. So instead of having it on you, he gives it to himself after the body block occurs. So it's just for a little make his life easier on the body block as well as get a better block. But unfortunately that's not going to pay off because Stark did an excellent block as well of the haste rune. He's going to definitely get zoned out.
It didn't look like Smile was able to get most of that body block off anyway. Like he ended up losing control of it just after the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, he missed the block pretty significantly, but yeah, he still has the jungle to fall back onto for the later stages of catching up. But right now, Nature's Prophet top lane, he's getting full experience while the supports are trying to roam. And the Crystal Maiden's solo smoked already and is rotating the middle lane, so we're going to see a very early attempt at the first blood. And it's probably going to be successful if they do this right, because the Mirana arrow can easily be landed after a frostbite.
It just means God needs to have a better angle for it. Problem is, the second he moves for it, it's going to be bloody obvious. But the Static Spirit's already gone down, so Frostbite, leap up and into the... And you're right, that will be first blood spilled in the middle lane. Bottle Charger's not fast enough. Crystal Maiden able to get that last attack in. So first blood spilled in the middle lane. VP off to a good start here.
Yeah, indeed. And they should honestly expect this early rotation from the Crystal Maiden as well, especially if I'm around the middle. Right now, Lifestealer is having a decent time. Hasn't missed a CS yet.
It's the beautiful thing. How to get a Nature's Prophet to leave the lane. mana drain.
Yeah.
And first level mana drain. Like, he hasn't even gone stun here. In fact, he's not. He goes into a hex before he goes for the stun.
Yeah, there's really no need for the stun when the Hex level 1 is so good with the buff to 2.5 seconds, whereas before I believe it was 1.5 seconds. And with the mana drain... Ooh,
sorry, just keep your eyes there while you're talking.
Okay, yeah, let's keep our eyes on it. I don't think too much will happen because there is a leap, and Zero has been skilled in Electro Vertex.
With the stun, yeah, you're right, there is no hold. Why did he go the second point up into the Overlord instead of the Vortex?
He was probably just focusing more on catching back up in his CS. He didn't realize Nyx Assassin was going to get the invisibility rune. I mean, the perfect ideal situation was that Mirana was going to lead as the Electro Vertex goes off, which will be pulling the Mirana and canceling her leap, and that would have been a guaranteed kill. But that would have been requiring a lot of timing, especially with how fast the leap animation is, and the cast time as well. So it would have been near impossible to gank, regardless of the how Storm Spirit scaled. But bottom lane, Batraider's gotten a lot of space since we last saw him. He's almost level 4, but we see a missed leap. Oh man.
Moon has to walk past the Black Dragons, take a lot of damage for that.
Yeah.
I was even going to be before this one as Storm Spirit goes down the mid. I was going to say before this that RSR, like, if you checked him 1 minute ago, he wasn't even at level 2 yet, and now he's cracking level 4. Where did that experience come from?
I mean, I think Ancient Empress was stacking up the jungle, and then he got a little bit of experience from the lane, and then he went to take the Ancient Operations to stack, so he just leached a lot off of that. So he's like quite happy with a bottle and boots.
He's going to be even
almost 4
when he
levels.
sees what Crystal Maiden's doing for him. That's a triple stack right now. She's going to steal one of the Centaurs, but that's a triple stack waiting for him when he comes back up north.
Yeah, and God gets a regeneration room. This is like a dream come true for him. When level 6 hits as well, it's going to be much easier to gank any lane, and it's going to be very difficult for PR to do much, because the invisibility gank is just so scary coming out from the Lion and Crystal Maiden dual roam.
And I think it's perfect. Like, it is a fantastic start for VP, no matter how they look at it. They got Storm Spirit with 2 tests next to his name, and he's 2 full levels behind that of the Mirana. This is like, it's the worst position you could ever ask for a Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
And like, we look at the Slark. This is a guy who normally is able to get kills from the very, very start of the game, and the fact that Smile has given him absolutely nothing, and now he's about to start up a quad stack. Yeah. Injection of money coming the way of Batrider. They haven't controlled him up at all. Nyx Assassin hasn't got the same amount of money as him, even though he's found decent levels, but with stacking, obviously, it's not going to be anywhere near as much.
Yeah, so PR realizing how they're in a hole, they rotated Nyx Assassin to the top lane to soak up the experience that Nature's Prophet was previously getting and rotate him into jungle, so just get a little bit more income on both experience and gold-wise into them. But Batrider, he's rotated jungle like you said, finished that stack, and he's starting to get his blink, so there's probably going to be a 10-minute blink-ish coming out from the Batrider, which is pretty decent timing considering it was an off-lane Batrider versus 3 heroes.
I think Smile will be happy with the timing. You're right. But then again, wait, what? It's just a TP scroll with the bottle.
You thought it was a dagger already?
Well, I know. I thought he went like a different route. So like something like Tranquil Boost or something like that, or like starting up on part of the 4-staff, or
yeah, something crazy. But
this is gonna be some really good money for him. Like a triple stack with all those little extra satyrs in there, and it's easy money. It's such easy money for a Batrider. And not to mention experience, he's almost level 6 with that.
There's the Mirana gank I was talking about, and Nature's Prophet. Oh man,
they're coming bottom.
It's backing up. He realizes this.
You see the same time that Smile TP's bottom lane, so Smile's not level 6 yet, but he's going to reveal the fact that Moonlight Shadow was used, but they're going to find, the creep, the pull through, get spotted out, and Nyx Assassin.
Rotations from PR.
Yeah, they're coming down. They want to fight this bottom lane. I think they've realized that VP have overcommitted themselves out here, so Jotam is going to sacrifice himself. But they've still TP'd heroes down here to stop this gank, which obviously failed.
Yeah.
And all they get is a Crystal Maiden, and they're still buying space for Illidan on this top lane. He's a full 20 CS in front of the Slark. and he's riding
Yeah.
a hand of Midas.
In fact, Illidan has only
Radiant's
missed
top
2
tower
CS.
is
He
under
missed
attack.
one just a minute ago, and he missed another one while trying to push the tower. And he
Radiant
just missed his third
structures
one
are
now. But
fortified.
he's doing really well for himself, and they're probably going to get this tower with ease because he has infest. He can tank up this tower and then just infest in a creep. And it looks like they're not going to force the tower. So they'll come back for a later date for this free gold. But yeah, Batrider's 1,000 gold away from Blink, and mid arrow misses. But the Storm is having a very rough time. He's almost a full level and a half behind of this Mirana.
Yeah, it's not looking great. It's not looking great for the PR Storm mid. But with 2 deaths to his name, you can't really put down.
You see a dive top lane right now.
Yeah, there's a stun over on NS. There's more support coming in for both teams as Nature's Prophet only really hits hard into NS. He's at 8 life points, and the tower will in fact kill him off. While Slark now moves in a little bit deeper over towards Jottam. Storm rotated in too. Man, the level of commitment just went through the roof with this. They're leaving AA to find his level 6 in the bottom lane. Slark with that level, with his ultimate, he gets back into mid lane before he misses anything. So that rotation still works for PR.
Yeah, beautiful rotation, and perhaps a little greed coming out from NS. Like, he tried to get the full Hex and Impale duration off, and which let the Carapace on the Earth spike, and it actually took damage on himself, and Nyx actually survived because of that, most likely. And great TP's rotation from PR nonetheless.
God searching for a hero, but he won't find Ancient Apparition. Perfectly hidden in the tree line.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, indeed.
He only needed like a semi-arrow to get that kill as well. Walking around with that DD rune on him.
Yeah, there's not much Ancient Apparition you can do when you have a DD Mirana coming at you. Especially when you go for this greedy 3-inch Chilling Touch. So your Ice Vortex and Cold Feet are very low to keep you alive. But makes Assassin trying to defend this tower push. It should be successful in the second attempt. And Lion's gonna hit level 6 pretty soon, so it's good news for VP despite their
Radiant's top
losses.
tower has fallen.
The only downside for Lion is getting his full combo off during a team fight. Nyx Assassin's not going to try and let that one
Radiant's
happen.
middle tower is
Walking
under
around with those
attack.
arcane boots, you know he's going to be mana spamming all the time for the burn.
Yeah, and this Hand of Midas is going to pay off really well, especially how early he's got it on Illidan. And I would presume he's going to go to standard Lifestealer build into an early Armlet and just massacre everyone with an S&Y follow-up after. So,
I don't see
yeah.
why not. They need to attack soon anyway, so waiting up any longer to get, well, any kind of other item up here.
Ancient Apparition ulti is flying top. They might want to crack at this guy, but
They can't really get the kill though, because oh wow,
Are you
maybe
sure?
they can. No, infest, man.
yeah, he was only about 10% off from cracking, so it was pretty dangerous for him.
So at the end of the day, I look at a live stealer, and if infest is up, the confidence level is always going to be insanely high.
Yeah.
Even up against an AA ulti with a Nyx burst damage like he just showed. And now VP, like they go, okay, well AA ulti is down, the Vendetta is down, and they use the Mirana ulti to try and get closer towards the Storm Spirit. And they haven't been spotted out doing this, but it's just the fact that everyone's missing means that ZXC backs up, and the arrow flies in, but ZXC, luckily, since last time I checked his position, moved.
Yeah, and we see Barrier picked up his blink now. Now this is where things get scary, because you cannot always just play passive when the Batrider's off the map, because he can be jungling, having the greatest time of his life in there, while you're just sitting under your tower, scared that he's trying to gank you. So it is up to PR to try to maybe bait out a push and then kill the Batrider and then keep pushing, because they really need to start getting these outer towers. Otherwise, in the mid stages of the game, VP's team fight is going to be very, very scary for them to deal with. And we see a rotation in top
Dire's
lane.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're
Radiant's
searching
top
for that
tower
kill.
is under attack.
They got to move a little bit faster than this though, but with the smoke, they've at least got some kind of extra movement speed. But FNG, I don't know if he really wants to do a blind stun around that tree line. Yeah, he's got to chase with him.
Dire's
And
bottom
Vendetta,
tower is under
is he
attack.
really going to go for the hit? Not the rage from Illidan. Bad timing. Able to get himself away to safety. At the same time, Slark ends up dying on the bottom lane. So it looks like Blink Lasso has been used. And I'm assuming, yeah,
Radiant's
Finger of
middle
Death from the
tower
Lion
is
is
under
also
attack.
back on the cooldown.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's impossible to escape a gank like that, honestly, even if you're farm on Slark. But right now we see invisibility rune bottled up by Ozart, so he's gonna get a free gank as well next time, most likely. But he was spotted out, so let's see, maybe he might get a little bit too confident with the invisibility play and get caught out by a sentry.
You should still be waiting though, like 50 seconds until Lasso's back up again before he can start killing off people. Even if, well, maybe you can have a crack at Ancient Apparition. Like, but with the Firefly, okay, it's gonna be pretty obvious that you're being attacked by an invisible force right now. But
yeah.
he's not letting it trigger out. He's just following J4 down. The problem is considering TPing in, and now a ulti over. What the hell? Just what did we just watch? What?
Hold on to that thought, middle lane right now.
Yeah, Storm's gonna jump on Sergey, and he got him mid-lead. Vortex back in again, FNG will hit him hard. And Line of Heaven will TP in. The Sprout gets destroyed by the TP out from NS. But he keeps going with the stuns on the FNG. They're pretty low on mana apart from Line of Heaven there, but I'm not quite sure what Smile was considering when he was... Like, he could have stopped to napalm him, at least slow him down, but he walked underneath the tier 2 tower. Solo, no creep wave, tanks the entire thing. To get a kill on a basic brown boot blink dagger bat rider. There's no pop-up, there's no streak, there's no urn, there's no drums, there's nothing.
I mean, when you say to get a kill on Ancient Apparition, I think that's slightly misleading, as he actually didn't get it and ended up dying. So it was just a complete misplay from Arza right there. Probably overestimated how much damage this Firefly was gonna do to finish him off. But right now, PR is not that bad of a shape, but they really do need to push down these towers. Like, most of these towers are pretty much untouched damage-wise, except for the bottom tier 1. But Moon has to be careful right now.
Yeah, he's backing up. I think the Observer Ward probably saw the Moonlight Shadow on that on Illidan, so it just flagged for him. So Moon continues to hide in the corner for now. But Bad Rider will take all of the farm away from him. Or at least as much as possible. But then, in comes FNG. Vendetta hit, Spike Carapace stun, and then a pull back in. The AOL is never even going to connect with him. So lets it fly over to the lane instead.
Yeah, we see a push from Lifestealer, and he has opted to go for a Skullmaster first, which is quite surprising because considering how useful Armlet is on Lifestealer. But bottom lane, successful tower push and slight overextension from Moon.
Yeah, it's a point-blank range arrow, but a finger of death from Lion. You don't have time to keep away out of vision to run away from this one. And Illidan now battles up against Light of Heaven. He still does have Infest, but if the bash works for him, he pops out the Infest now, moves over to J4. Can he get another one right now? Storm Spirit's on the way in, but he jumped a little bit too high, and there you go, Illidan gets a double kill in this top lane, but he'll throw away his own life to get these 2 kills. But it's still 3 heroes going down for the price of 1 for VP. I'm not going to say the best trade in the world, but still, VP do come out in front of it.
Yeah, and Miranda just picked up the Yasha, and interesting statistic. Ancient Apparition has actually a losing record of a hand on Midas. I would say that's mostly contributed to the fact that when people play this Ancient Apparition and win, they don't. It's usually played by X speed. It's not gonna work, yeah.
Yeah, the A ulti was also in just a little bit too late. And if needed, Sergey, like, he's going to throw the arrow out right now. And he's not going to hit onto Moon. That was a 5-second. He'd be all over Moon right now. But they just hold up, and they actually bring more support for VP to their bottom lane. Illidan goes to lines.
Yeah, they might go for... Yeah, might go for a push or some sort of kill onto the bottom lane, because Bat Rider does have last fill up right now, and Infest will be up momentarily, so it should be some easy engagements if they do it right. The Moon is being pinged out right now, and he should realize that, because his open is not proccing right there at that time. Because there's a ward there, but looks like he does realize that, and he'll decide to back off.
Yeah, which means VP won't find anybody from this movement. So instead they must bring down that tier 1 tower. But then again, maybe they also have to come back to defend that middle lane. If they try and push out that tier 1 tower, they're going to lose on the trade because up on top lane, Light of Heaven's already doing split push. So yeah, here comes the Infest bomb. We're going to watch Smile coming into the rear, but again, smart move by PR. They rotate up and they move north, realizing the rotation's coming out from VP, and they've got to be careful.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that they have to be, but they can probably take this tower because VP's not in a good spot, but Virtus.Pro is gonna TP at the top lane and try to force a fight. But it's gonna be very hard to kill the Lifestealer, so they have to go on something else. By Lifestealer I mean Slark, the fish.
I know what you're going for there, man. I'm watching this bottom lane too, where Lion, like FNG searching for a kill right now. He's still only got arcane boots over on this Nyx assassin, so he'd love a kill. And that Dire Observer Ward, okay, it's going to see him as he walks out right now. So at least flags his position, because NS's just been stalking. And he'll walk underneath the Observer Ward of the Radiant side, so they both clearly see each other. NS just wants to be able to Finger of Death somebody. And if he can set up with a Hex on the Nyx assassin, he should come out on top of that.
Yeah. Pretty much just easy impale after, and then Finger of Death to finish it off. But Arzard's farm has really plateaued since the Blink Dagger at the 10-minute mark. I mean, he has only gotten a TP scroll and 600 gold ever since then, and it's been 8 minutes.
Loving Sergey in the mid lane, just picking out. He was sitting invis, waiting for the slant to come in just that little bit closer, and then got hit by the Nature's Prophet ulti. And realizes that he was completely visible, being that close to the creep wave. Bottom lane TP's coming in, and FNG gets a double stun with a Vendetta hit over to the Lion. And with the AA ulti on top of it, Batrider's also going to go down. Light of Heaven coming in just to give a helping hand, while Illidan searches for an opening now. He needs to get like a first hit bash if he wants that XC dead. Misses on the first hit, which means Storm just goes for a little of a jump. And there's no phase boot, so Illidan can't chase it down. Like, I don't know if he's trying to work his way into something like a straight Abyssal Blade, so then you have like a quick lockdown or something, but it's really unusual for Illidan to go for this basher first.
He has basically no mobility around teamfights right now. He's walking with his base movement speed to 365, and that's about it. Like, if he had face boots or SNY right there, he would have caught the Atrian Apparition, open wounds rage, and straight kill him before the TP even go off.
Trying to catch up to Light of Heaven right now. He's got to napalm him. He's got to stop to napalm. He doesn't want to. He sees the extra TP coming in from Storm Spirit, and if Storm decides to jump this, it'll be the worst decision of his life. Blink away by Light of Heaven. NS has returned to that bottom lane. That's why it would have been a really bad decision. But at the same time, PR are having a party in middle lane, and now moving themselves into the Dire side jungle. And this makes a big threat against the Lifestealer.
Yeah, and especially with Lifestealer with no escape mechanism. However, there is a ward there.
Yeah, that sentry saw him perfectly. So Moon just starts up in the farm.
Yeah, Moon is really far behind in terms of net worth in comparison to Lifestealer, so he needs to start doing some catch up, and probably need to get a BKB as well due to the massive magic and disable from VP.
There's your Infest bomb. Heading bottom lane. FNG just sitting inside Vendetta. He's also got this gem up and running, so he sees there's a sentry ward down there too.
Yeah, so he knows he was spotted, so might as well just come out and kill the ward.
Yeah. At level 3 Necrobug, 21 minutes in for an Nature's Prophet. It's straight Necro from Light though. So all this really is just like full-on split push from Light of Heaven. He's had enough of VP fighting like men. Or either that, he's trying to give some, like a dose of his of the medicine they received earlier with the Naga Siren.
Yeah, and the Necrobook is a very good pickup against VP because not only because of the nature of the Necrobook's high damage and split push potential, but also because Morana ultis online for other team. So during these team fights, instead of putting massive sentries everywhere, they can just pop the Necrobook and just keep it close and have complete vision over the fight.
Crazy thing though for for PR right there as they fed the Necro units. That's a lot of money that just gave over to VP, but they're going to try and claim it back right now by pushing in through the mid. On top of the tier 2 tower. And with the profitability that went out before, VP's not really in a best position to fight. You got Bat Rider on his way in. And they're trying to pull the creep wave off the tier 2 tower. I don't know if PR wants to fight this. If they could just snipe out the tower, they would have gone for it. They're not going to force it any further, or the tower comes within deny range. In fact, now it actually is within deny range. So just got to get rid of the catapult to make sure. And there it goes, tower gets denied. And PR don't really come out on top of all of that.
Yeah, they got the tower denied. I guess they gained a little map control, but that's not what they need right now. They need to get farm on these heroes that they have, the cores. Especially with a BKB first on Storm Spirit. He doesn't have too much mana to play with on his ultimate. So I would really like to see him get some mana items soon.
Do you see Lifestealer? He did in fact do what I was talking about. He went straight into the Abyssal Blade. There's no delay.
Yeah, that's sort of risky though. Like if you get kited, you can easily get kited in team fights with this build you're going. If your teammate is not there to support you, you're just gonna fall down and get kited to death.
At the same time though, give him something to allows control over the Storm Spirit, because he just got his fresh BKB and probably thinks during all team fights he'll be fine. But there's only 1.2k life points to get through. So they can attack hard enough and fast enough, they can kill off their Storm Spirit.
Yeah, perhaps. The Abyssal is a lot of mana that Lifestealer has to use. If he gets mana burn a few times, it's going to be rough for him. So it's up to, PR really needs to start doing something right now, though, because they might get caught out in the jungle.
Oh, dude, it's... Illidan is still finding such a... Like, I don't know if you saw him. He went top lane, just open winds up, range up straight away, and just bash down the Necro units. Light's really going to keep these things away from Lifestealer. Because he's feeding off him right now. He's got 600 gold off Necro units in the space of the last 2 minutes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And he's already got a net worth of 12,000 gold. He's 2,000 in front of Light of Heaven right now. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse for PR.
It is. I would like to see what Lifestealer is going next, though. He's got 1,700 gold saved up, and he hasn't bought anything.
He's going to look at life points, and he's going to look to try and survive right now. He'll get the follow-ups on over towards Moon, but even with the 5-second arrow on FNG, no. Virtus.Pro cannot fight that. They're getting split push. If they lost more heroes, then they would have lost the tier 3 tower in the top lane. But you got to get your answer for Illidan. He spent the money and he's going into AC. And goodbye Mirana.
Yeah. I was thinking he might go AC, but yeah, for the armor and the higher increased DPS from the minus armor and the attack speed. But yeah, he still has no mobility, so he's going all in DPS sort of deal. Zero. I don't expect him to get any mobile items in the near future as well.
Agreed. Because it just wouldn't work for him. Like maybe a blink dagger later on. Maybe. But Illidan's waiting it out as again, missed another kill, but for some reason Nature's Prophet kills off Bat Rider inside the base. Did they have vision from that ward?
No, it was a Necro book following Bat Rider's Firefly, and then eventually the Firefly killed him. Killed the Necro book, which in result killed him.
Gave the burst damage. Well, at least I suppose the upside for VP is he died inside the base.
Yeah, no experience was fed by doing so, unlike when you finish heroes with your spells, and even if you're out of range, you'll still get experience, but not from Necrobooks or other summon units. But Arzard is having a really rough game. He doesn't even have a 4-staff, and he realizes that he can't even afford to get one, because he needs to get a BKB.
Well, you were talking about during the draft that Arzard should be looking at, like, Blink Dagger to 4-staff to BKB, and he's just jumped a step.
Yeah, that's because he's really far behind in his net worth. Like, if you compare him to Nature's Prophet, I don't think that's even anywhere comparable. So, even if you compare him to the Ancient Apparition, it's something that can be comparable.
Illidan.
Yeah.
FNG knows he doesn't have the DPS required. And now NS comes to the bottom lane with a Blink Dagger. All he's got to do is be able to see FNG, and the smoke's moving down. Checking the tree line, can't find him there. He already
Top lane
has-
lasso.
Yeah, it's also like, it's maybe a 4-second arrow over on Moon. But that burst damage from VP takes care of him rather quickly.
Yeah, that it does. And we see the Lion's not done looking yet. And PR does not realize this Lion is hiding here, so they might.
First stun now over towards Illidan. He's got to get out of here. Get that stun off. There it goes. Illidan. Can he infest? Not in time. Finger of death. Pathetic C still alive. And as his last attack, it's not going to be anywhere near enough damage. So Line of Heaven will take the double kill here, not even having to use his ultimate during that fight or the Necro units.
That was a serious misplay from NS right there. He actually sheeped the creep first instead of sheeping the Storm Spirit. And then he panicked into stunning right after because he realized he misclicked. And that costed 2 kills. Just like that.
And VP now, because of those 2 kills, find themselves in a really bad position. They're behind by 4,000 gold. The experience was kicking up in favor of that 3.5k for Power Rangers. But it's only going to get worse from here with that Hand of Midas and Line of Heaven just jumping around the map, getting very close to finishing up that side device of his. And then you've got a Hand of Midas on the Ancient Apparition. Aghanim Scepter only 300 gold away for J4 now.
Yeah.
And then you've got Slark building into a BKB, and he's 100 gold away from his BKB. Seems like all the timings for Rhinus. Nyx Assassin just needs enough mana for... In fact, he's almost got enough gold to buy up the 4 stuff.
Yeah, and Parrot finishes a Boots of Travel after getting Ogre Axe.
It's split push isn't what he should be doing. I can understand the BTs later on, but he needs the BKB first.
Yeah, I mean, he already committed himself into getting BKB with that Ogre Club pickup. I mean, right now it's just a casual Ogre Club sitting in his inventory. It's completely worthless, pretty much, to his gank potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see him get a 4-step instead of his Boots of Travel, but he might find Line of Heaven there.
If it wasn't nighttime, Smile probably would have seen Line of Heaven there.
Oh no, the complete disaster.
On the way in there, they're going to go on the live stealer, but he got the rage up in time, so beats into him. Quelling Blade's going to break free. In fact, he uses Infest to get out of the Sprout, but in comes Storm Spirit now. They know Rage is on cooldown. There's still that Abyssal Blade from Illidan to use, with a proper ultimate to hit him as well. He triggers it over on Moon, but Moon just dark packs out of it.
Yeah, and that was all because he didn't go to standard build as well. If Lifestealer was running the standard SNY face boots, he would have ran out of there in no time. But instead, he's running at this very slow movement speed. I honestly think this build is just haunting him. His decision to go for this very greedy DPS build is costing his team the game right now.
I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but I can definitely say that VP are not looking great. And PR, all they got to do is just keep the momentum going. There's one tier 2 tower in the bottom lane they've still got to bring down. And it's just bit by bit. Line of Heaven. He still hasn't got that money for the side device. In fact, we've got an Orchid recipe now also flying out. So that one's going to be coming over the Storm Spirit. So we get Orchid up and running. You want to add 2 disables to this mix-up too? Like a side device and an Orchid against VP?
Yeah, it's going to be a really difficult deal because an Orchid and Lion's completely useless. Crystal Maiden useless, Bat Rider useless. There's just a lot of useless heroes on VP side if they get this, just by Orchided. Like, they don't even have to be DPS or after it or anything. It's just a casual Orchid.
Yeah. Movement's coming from VP on that bottom lane. I prefer not to wait for the Storm Spirit to jump in and maybe do it themselves. So they have NS, God, as well as Smile coming down here in the bottom lane, but they won't find anybody. FNG is waiting around the middle lane. Light of Heaven is waiting up on the top lane, pushing in with Necro units again. Slark's running back towards the jungle, but he's still trying to finish off his drums at this point. He picked up BKB as well as Shadow Blade. He's basically out after that. Then J4 has gone base Aghanim Scepter. So PR have their combination. They have the items for their combination.
Yeah, and this Ancient Apparition, this is all really he needs for the rest of the game. Any other items he gets is just extreme luxury items. And we see bottom lane, Lion spots out the 3 heroes on PR, but PR should realize they have a ward there. This Slark is like running through the whole jungle being without Shadow Dance movement speed. Like, I'm not sure why Nyx Assassin hasn't come down here to counter these wards yet, because they're clearly their whole jungle is being warded and they know about it.
Nyx is just hiding for the moment. You're right, he can TP out straight away. But he was hiding after they saw the Bat Rider with the infested lifesteal before. Light of Heaven, speaking of seeing those two boys together, Light of Heaven gets caught out, and that's 585 gold being taken out of his bank account. And with that too, that also, it doesn't completely stop the Scythe of Ice, but definitely slows it down a little bit.
Bottom lane, keep your eyes open for...
You think they're going to go and see the arrow as well off target?
No, there's a lion hiding in the back waiting to set up this arrow, but this looks like a counter gank to me right now, the way how things are going.
Well, the A holding going to hit on Moon. Yep, they're just all through a jump in, but a very quick leap away. Now Bat Rider's jumping in, the lion still hasn't flinched. And that's why TP time. Crystal Maiden dying up here on the top to FNG. That's on the other side of the neutrals. But unable to survive, so Prophet and CM still on the sidelines. And they're trying to use the Mirana ulti to get into that middle lane. If Hex is the first start here, in fact, yep, Blink, X, follow-up stun, Arrow not available because just the line for it, but they use Lasso as well as Finger of Death. And it's Illidan who gets the last hit in out of all of them. And his AC is now finished, so AC and Abyssal for the Lifestealer. Which is what we go, Heart next, or we have the unkillable Lifestealer as the goal?
Yeah, Heart might be a possible choice because you can't go lifesteal versus instant apparition shenanigans. The 20 seconds of no lifesteal or healing is going to be way too inefficient for him to get any sort of lifesteal pickups. So I wouldn't imagine Heart wouldn't be a bad choice by him to get a little bit tankier and increase his DPS by a little bit as well. Mirana, S and Y, seems really...
Well, you can at least call them unique.
I mean, BKB pickup by both the VP and PR have been unused thus far. It's kind of rendered useless at the top lane.
Yeah, Nyx is jumping for it. Storm Spirit, long leap up as well. For most of his mana to do so. Now Illidan, where's that? There it is. Abyssal Blade. They'll take out FNG. And they know Storm Spirit's low, and if they're going to use the remainder of his mana just to get back down to where the top rune is.
Yeah, and that was a gem transfer, so basically 1,800 gold just went the way of VP. And right now, the Slark is not having too good of a time. He only has BKB and Shadow Blade. Like, you usually expect a hard carry at 35 minutes to probably have 3-4 items, but he only really has 2, and Shadow Blade's half.
They're going to get the Blink Lasso. They've got to get the Blink Lasso, and there's the Blink. But there's no Lasso to go with it into the Firefly. They want to make sure they can keep watching Moon the entire time through. Blink's off cooldown again in 4 seconds time, and now Illidan runs out, and he'll mop up. Whoops, there's the Firefly damage going the way of the Bat Rider. I was about to say, he'll mop up those Necro units while J4 gets caught out of position. BKB has just triggered off from the Mirana. I don't think that was really intentional from Sergey. He did not require that.
Yeah, probably just for security reasons. He didn't want any chance of him living by getting pulled by or stunned by Nyx or Storm. But Arrow into Roshan, this is going to be a very quick Roshan with the Assault Cuirass online. So we might see Lifesteal try to steal as well, but his Shadow Dance is on cooldown.
Bat Rider, he got Orchid, pulled back. Smile trying to go over aggressive, but they never even finished off Roshan now. They're going to lose Jotum as well. And Storm Spirit's going in deeper with this BKB, but now the Abyssal Blade goes to work. They should have almost enough DPS. The Finger of Death is up, the arrow, no effect whatsoever because the BKB is still there. Now the Finger finally killing off that Storm Spirit. So the gem is back on the deck. Hex follow up into Moon. NS needs to drain some more mana out of him because he has to use the one charges. Nyx Assassin goes down too. The gems just keep falling everywhere. Go back in and finish up Roshan. They had to use a buyback from the Bat Rider in order to do this. So they have to get Roshan and the Aegis the Immortal up and running for him. And now, what move? He jumped in and throws away his life points.
Yeah, he should have ulted if he was trying to go for Aegis steal of any sort for precaution reasons, but he didn't. He got too greedy and he got instant cheaped and disabled.
J4's gonna die. Bad Rider just sticks with him. And with the 4 napalm stacks, turns around for one last AA ulti. But they're TPing back to base. Illidan's even going to fight up here on the top lane. Straight back into the feast. He needs that Ice Blast to finally stop having an effect on him. Now he can leech it out. He's up to 4.8k gold. He could almost buy the straight heart.
Yeah, he can, but is he gonna go the hard route? Like, he's been picking up some pretty DPS heavy item. He might just go straight Daedalus. Like, he might surprise us.
True, he could go Daedalus, but at the same time, I think he's going to give a little bit more respect to the DPS, which is coming out from PR.
Well, yeah, we might see that, but it doesn't seem like he's respecting too much with the way he's building his items and playstyle. It's been pretty reckless thus far. I guess we'll wait and see, because he still has 5.4 saved up, and Marana ulti.
Yeah, they're coming down. The gem, though, is still... Like, there's one on the Bat Ride and there's one on the Nyx Assassin. So the Nyx Assassin just got spotted out. There is more help on the way from both PR as well as BP. So I just say a quick fishing arrow to see if they're still running up high. But they're not. So Sergey backs up.
Finally, Arzar finished his BKB, but it is 40 minutes in already, and it still has no force stuff. So initiation is going to be slightly weak from him.
Illidan is selling his treads. He's picking up a second Hyperstone, and he bought BTs. So we're going to be seeing a Mjolnir coming up here from the Lifestealer as his next item.
I'm not sure about these item progressions he's getting.
To even sell off the treads, he needs the up the Hyperstone, so he has now what, double Hyperstones in his build. But he sacrificed the attack speed when selling off the treads. And now he's going to jump, because I don't even understand the BTs, because he's got Smile for that. And that's exactly what Smile's done. He's already blinked himself down right now. Maybe the Infest down to an open wounds, which is what they do. Hitting it at J4. Line of Heaven just a little bit too far away for Illidan to chase it down any further than that. Didn't use the Abyssal Blade either. And now BT's from Illidan. He's coming back to fight. And he's right in the front lines. And as he's low on life, and the Abyssal Blade on ZXC means he cannot finish off the Lion. He will now back up while the Blink Dagger from FNG gets him far enough away from the other heroes, but Slark has also managed to pounce off the Crystal Maiden. Lasso is a barbel, and remember that gem, Blink Dagger off cooldown. But Smile didn't commit.
Yeah, I perhaps could have actually gotten a kill, but he was worried that Slark was just going to Dark Pack his ulti, and he'll end up wasting it. So it's just probably playing pretty cautious, but I don't think he would have lost too much just by going, because Lasso is level 3 now, so it'll be his 50-second cooldown per bottom.
Keep going, yeah, Light of Heaven. Spy Carapace trying to buy a little bit of space, at least keeping that Bat Rider around for the moment. When the BKB of his goes off, Moon comes in close, they're lassoing FNG. He wants to pull him down the cliffside. The arrows managed to connect onto FNG, but the ALD on the way towards the Bat Rider, and that's an expensive death. The gem hits the ground. And Nyx Assassin will pick it up and go straight back to base. This is something which he should even put directly into his stash, so there's not a single chance that can be picked up.
Yeah, and Lion still has another gem though, so it was a big loss, but not as big as it would have been if VP lost both of their gems. So Bat Rider is going to get the gem from Lion now, so he can keep initiating. But
this is
what's going on, Toby?
Crazy build from Illidan.
It's honestly a really greedy DPS build / farming that he's got. Initiation.
In they come. He won't rage and open wounds in time, and there goes Aegis. They still used a lot to commit onto him. Like Storm Spirit burnt out 2/3 of his mana to do so, and now the open wounds, but the haste rune was stolen by the Nyx Assassin, so he doesn't care about open wounds. And now Illidan, he has to go into a Monkey King bar next. He's got no other real choice unless the side device he'll rely on in order to hit the Slark, because Slark now has a halberd up and running.
Yeah, he honestly might even be able to just rip through his Slark, so I don't know. He's been getting some good, interesting items. Might just go all in DPS Daedalus. I don't know. I still think the Daedalus is coming up, because that is such a big DPS item.
But he needs the Monkey King bars. Like, the damage difference isn't that much until you take into account, obviously, the crit. But He needs to be able to directly hit heroes. That's his major problem. Like, and just relying on the side device to remove the evasion is not going to be the greatest. Arrow flies down, but no one will be connected onto that one. But blink out, and now, well, there's a quick pullback. They're able to kill off the Storm Spirit straight away. Illidan, well, they're going to keep chasing down. J4, Flame Break pushes him down. That's a lot of DPS coming out from the Virtus.Pro lineup. And Lion still has his finger of death after all of that.
Yeah, it's gonna live as well, fortunately. And this is our. The question is our Zart gonna build back into a 45-minute force staff, or what we're gonna be looking at? Because a force staff at this point in the game is still very good. Oh man.
He's walking right on top of an observer ward from the Radiant side. And FNG's not feeling confident inside the river. Just with that weird movement that was coming out from Illidan.
Yeah.
It basically flagged the fact that this observer ward's up on top of the cliff and he's being watched. So the second he realized that, he just blinked himself up into the safety of his own side of the river. And
yeah,
no now also going into Aghanim, Scepter Finger of Death. Let the AoE spill begin!
It's honestly how it's really discussing how Lion's Scepter works. It's probably one of the best upgrades in the game because you get it's an AoE Finger of Death with a 20-second cooldown.
Yep.
Like it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
How much damage can that actually do?
That deals a crap ton, man, and you're never short of mana because you got mana drain.
Yeah, you really don't. So you always have mana to keep spamming that. It's a 20-second spell that it's 1,000 damage AoE.
Look at him waiting. This is the second time now I've seen heroes do this. It was Limestealer and NS before, but both got NS. NS one's out. NS one's out, and God's not moving. They're holding in the corner. They're waiting for Nature's Prophet to start farming up, and then they come out for the kill. So now Moonlight Shadow will go. The wards are getting dewatered, so they know there's a lot of heroes inside the jungle.
If Slark was paying attention, he realizes.
Finger of Death. Point blank range arrow, Light of Heaven's gone. At the same time, we've got a Battle Rider initiation with the Lion Sealer. It's a double prong attack coming from Virtus.Pro. The stun from FNG hits on two. So NS as well as Sergey forced to hold where they are. But Illidan, look at that movement speed, running up to J4. At least his BT's going to be fleet-footed. But then arrow connects and then the damage flies out. 3.8k gold now over on that Life Stealer, who instantly BT's middle lane to start pushing and holding the line.
Yeah. I always want to say this is all because of Moonlight's fault. He's not paying attention to his Shadow Dance. His Shadow Dance wore off right before he hit the neutral camp. So he should have realized that there's an enemy team there. If he had called that out, that probably would have been a completely different fight. Because Storm Spirit would have jumped onto where Nature's Prophet was. Because that was the only angle possible that he could have been spotted from. And Nature's Prophet would have lived as well as the Storm Spirit. So I don't want to put it on him, but I personally feel that this Slark play is very weak from him.
FNG, man, living life on the edge. He's got a new smile's got that gem, but he wants to kill an NS. Mana burn, Prophet ulti, they got him. His Finger of Death was off cooldown too. You knew he wanted to hit somebody, but with the God now coming in with the DD rune as well, push the creep wave out, they can take the tower pretty quickly. But that's also another reason why AA ult is being forced up towards the top lane. Rider Life Stealer, Infest combo. So they use the Mirana ulti again to try and get in, and this is going to be such a sandwich. And FNG and ZXC want to beat a meat. Jumping down a little bit deeper, Illidan, he's out and about, but the BKB from Batrider dragging the Nyx Assassin back, and then Abyssal Blade to boot. He never even hits once, he got bashed 3 times. And Light of Heaven will have to also stand his ground up against Illidan. PR is getting sniped out. Another arrow in 3 seconds time. They may just have enough damage to kill ZXC right now. Because that was the one quick jump. Starfall attack. J4 also forced back. The tier 2 tower is gone. And with the catapult coming in and Illidan going all sparkly on the way in, they'll take the tier 3 tower. Illidan's south enough that he won't get affected by the AA ultimate. And raised up too, so Prophet ulti also has no effect, and they take Rax. Well, they have to back up because Light of Heaven is basically being this one-man pushing army. The Desolator side, the Vice level 3 Necro unit, Nature's Prophet. So they had to come back to deal with him. They'll just go for Roshan next. Take the top Rax, go Roshan for pushing out bottom lane.
And there's 8,000 gold on Lifesteal right now, so he can buy whatever he wants. And he drops his gem, so he's about to buy a new item. That's indicating. Curry's in the middle of nowhere. It's going to Secret Shop now, so let's see. Okay. Battle Fury?
Is either Battle Fury or Refresh your Orb, but I'm not liking either.
I think it's a Lincoln's.
I was actually kind of hoping, like, no, it wouldn't even work. It's like, you can't even throw a Scardy on the back of all of this.
Yeah, it's a Lincoln's.
It's a Lincoln Sphere. Oh.
Yeah. It's for the Sheepstick, or the Silent, or the Storm and Prophet, respectively.
But if you really want that, then you just, like, a heart would still, like, keep you alive. You wouldn't be able to fight instantly. I suppose the Lincoln Sphere then allows you just to rage up, and then it doesn't matter too much after that point.
Yeah, and the issue with getting a heart versus an AA is that it increases your maximum health, which also increases the kill threshold. So it's honestly not as ideal as it honestly should have been, as most oftentimes people pick up heart for.
Love this move from Illidan. Walks in front of basically a creep wave and a half in the mid. Instead of attacking it and taking the time just to clean up the creep wave, just TP straight bottom lane. And now we'll attack onto the tier 2 tower down here. But you see that DPS coming out from him. Almost 300 per hit. And then you add the Daedalus and what is almost a full butterfly over on the Mirana to combine it with her S and Y. These you can't play trade games with this line from VP. AL is on the way in here, and Sergey will get hit by this. But they just use the Mirana ulti. Back up a little bit more. Nyx Assassin's behind the line, but now that rider jumps straight in. Actually gets the last two on Line of Heaven. Line of Heaven focused down by Illidan. He doesn't have the Aegis Immortal remember this time around, but there's enough time maybe. The stunning shatters. Storm Spirit will end it, but the buyback will come. And VT probably isn't far off either. And now the Aegis Immortal will trigger. That's the Mirana. Storm Spirit uses half his mana pool to get in here. And Sergey turns on the BKB. Gets a monster kill up. Focus on ZXC and gets the crit with the bash from Illidan. Making sure Storm Spirit couldn't jump himself away. But God, he'll die right now. But the balancing lightning is not only killing off the creep wave, but also bringing down the Nyx Assassin. There's the lightning proc coming out from the Shield of Mjolnir.
Why is he coming?
He can just go back in again. He can just start attacking onto the range racks if he wants to. No, he's going to go on melee. All right. Moon, don't come in. Like, the Abyssal Blade's still off on cooldown, but Blink Lasso, and that's the problem. Smile stuck around, and GG is the call. They will say no more. They will say no more.
Yeah, no more indeed. As a, I mean, pure the in these BO3 series, but it looks like VP just gained where they used to be. A very strong team with good coordination and rotations as well.
Yeah, it was nice to watch. It was nice to watch. There's still obviously a couple of
hiccups.
Yeah, hiccups. I like hiccups. Hiccups is the best word, man. Hiccups is the best word in the VP lineup.